He's looking at them. Will you accept my plant? Will you accept this new tradition I'm bringing into the house? Please love him like you love me. But he spits out the Bluetooth headphones. See, you wanted Bluetooth headphones, didn't you? You're happy. What did you get? Some slippers. Minecraft Lego. This is what we want. Christmas. Yay. Singing. What is the glitter thing, though? Please, let's just stop that. Hello, Reformed mythologist Morgan Locke here for Speak Life, having a think about those Christmas videos. So what we're going to do now is we're going to dive into this video. The big question is it Christmassy? Well, I would argue that it is both Christmassy and not Christmassy at the same time, which is partly what's caused all the conversation about it. Now, how is it Christmassy? Okay, because this Venus flytrap snapper is not actually a traditional Christmas tree, and we feel a little bit sort of violated by this advert when we wanted to be comforted with Christmas cheer. It's basically because the underlying plot of the story is that there is a relationship between the boy and the plant. The plant grows up and is then rejected. It is then dragged outside the house and kicking and screaming by mum and by gran, and it is outside of the Christmas celebrations. But then the boy goes from inside the house, outside the house, to go and have Christmas there. So in the same way that Jesus can quote Psalm 118, verse 22, the stone the builders rejected has become the capstone. The Lord has done this and it is marvelous in our eyes. In the same way, this plant the family has rejected has become the centerpiece of their Christmas celebration. There's a question about whether the boy is the hero or whether the plant is the hero. How do those two things relate together? But it's a boy-plant story in which the boy's love for the plant is redemptive, has an impact on the world around him or on his family, and that it changes the nature of their Christmas celebration. How is it not Christmassy? Well, we're going to get into that as we go through the video in each frame. Opening shot, we've got various antique traditional objects there. You can see, is this an outdoor antique shop, a wooden horse? See, it's old, right? Tradition. This is important. This is what misled us when we were watching the trailer. Okay. So he finds something, he's interested, and what is it?
Gran,
now at this point we don't know what it is. There's a big reveal. Okay, so Gran, I want something. I've spotted among all this old junk, all this old rubbish, I've found something that I would like.
have this.
And here it is. Grow your own perfect Christmas tree. We'll stop it there. Now, just look at the branding around this this box. Okay, so grow your own perfect Christmas tree, and then there's a little family looking very kind of old-fashioned. The stylized, the style of this, the aesthetic is kind of Victorian, which is where Christmas trees come from in terms of the Queen Victoria and Prince Albert and the bringing of Christmas tree tradition into the UK from Germany. Now, at this stage, he doesn't know what this is going to be. There it is. It's inside. Very carefully placed little seed. Okay, so seed's going to be important. Seed is a significant part of what the Christmas story is all about. Jesus is not the first name for Jesus, but one of the earliest descriptions of Jesus is that he will be, Genesis 3:15, the offspring or the seed of the woman. So all the way through the Old Testament, we're going to see the relationship between the seed and the plant that is grown up. And so if you know your Christmas or your Advent readings from Isaiah, there's multiple references to Israel as a plant and the shoot of Jesse, the stump, all of these things. The tree symbol for not just Israel, but also for Jesus is a really crucial one. And there it is, planted. And the first thing that the boy is concerned to see this plant grow. Okay, so other occasions in the Bible when plants are growing and we're concerned to see how they're going to grow. Are they going to grow well? Isaiah 5, and you've got Israel as the true as the vine. Jesus references that in John 15, calling himself the true vine. And you've also got many parables where Jesus is referring to plants as kind of symbols. People are plants. Okay, that's a deeply metaphorical idea. Now, this shot is fascinating. The greatest John Lewis advert of Christmas was 2011, when there was a boy who was desperately waiting for Christmas, and the Smiths' Please, Please, Let Me Get What I Want was playing. And the boy's anticipation, or his eagerness for it to be Christmas, meant that he was hurrying everything up. Now here, you see the boy get down from the table with presumably his mom. Well, we know it's his gran, and I'm guessing that's his older sister. So he leaves the table, jumps down so that he can check on his plant, okay? And if you've ever grown up in a house with a young boy, you will know that they are often very eager to go and do things and are desperate to get down from the table so they can. So wonderful shot. The boy's going to get down from the table and run to check on the plant again. Okay, so now he's showing his care for the plant. He's got a light on there, so he really wants this thing to grow. He seems to have noticed already that this plant is not native to the UK. Therefore, it needs a special conditions in which it's going to grow. And here's the magic, okay? This is where the magic kicks in. Because so far, it's just been traditional live action sort of cinematography, and now we've got some CGI going on, and the music kicks in. Okay, La Vita Festa from Andrea Bocelli, which I believe means life is a celebration. Now, is the whole of life a celebration, or is there a place for mourning, grieving? And how does Christmas relate to the mourning and the grieving? How does the celebration relate to the grief? This video, it does have parts of it, but potentially you could argue that this is just life as celebration. There is only unrestrained human enjoyment, which really was the problem with the M&S advert, was that you should never be anything other than perfectly happy with what's going on in the world. You do you. This advert isn't really saying that, but it is certainly saying in the soundtrack, life is a festival. Okay, so now we get the first reaction shots from anyone other than the boy, and this is mum and sister who have coming to have a look, and they are not convinced. He's looking at them. Will you accept my plant? Will you accept this new tradition I'm bringing into the house? Please love him like you love me. We've kicked into the montage, of course, a classic place for growth and development in a single direction. You just want to show the passage of time, so you're going to montage it. And here we have the boy explaining to Snapper, the Venus flytrap, what a Christmas tree is like. It looks like this. And here we've been practicing, Mum. Look, we can make this thing that isn't in this shape look like it's in this shape. Will you now accept this tree as a Christmas tree? Okay, it's bending itself in. What do you think? They're not impressed. We've all been there. Someone's trying to convince you of something and you're just like, not getting it. And this is the slightly curious one. This is where family pet camera's now inside the mouth of the tree, which is kind of predatory as a camera angle, and it's chomping. It's chomping for. Is that a Pomeranian? I don't know dogs very well, but it's certainly a vulnerable little beast with this plant going after it. Homemade streamers, we've got them. Look, Mum, will these do? And Mum says, I've actually got nice ones. I've got nice decorations that we can use here, probably from John Lewis. Curious scene in the nighttime. They thought there was an intruder. They thought there was danger in the house. Turns out it's just this manic tree is now going crazy, doing his own little performance. All right? That's mad. Mum again, still not impressed. And this is the final straw. Okay, so now they've got to drag out the tree. Oh, what a sad shot. Look at that. Camera's pulling away from the boy. The boy's looking very, very sad, disconsolate. And the tree's been replaced, okay? Now, if the relationship between the boy and the plant is the key relationship in the story, then when you separate those two things out, that's going to be the lowest point of the story. And then a shot from outside. Okay, so here's a shot from outside. We're getting the plant's point of view. Okay, now this window, this door, is the point of separation. Okay, the plant can come up to the window, but it can't enter into. And so much of our Christmas videos are about being inside or being outside, and inclusion versus exclusion. Okay, so who gets to be inside, who gets to be outside? We're sharing in the plant's perspective. The rejection. And then we're back inside. But then we see from the outside through the window, okay? Which means that we, as the viewer, are removed from the scene. And now we're back outside with the sad plant. And look, he slouches off. And there, he looks longing. He's very good at this face, this boy. It was a good choice. And then, okay, we're panning across. It's Christmas morning because, look, they've got Bucks Fizz or whatever that is in the orange juice and the champagne stuff. Everyone's in their PJs. Okay. Down he comes. It's a boy wearing a coat and a woolly hat on Christmas morning with his pajamas. Remind you of anything? The snowman. That's right. And this is great because we're all just following their reactions. We don't see what he's going to do. And then, boom, out he goes. And he places down the gift. Now, it's interesting. Why do you put the gifts underneath the tree? I'm not exactly sure how it developed, but there is a possibility that the gifts are the fruits of the tree. We're suggesting that the tree has given these gifts to us. Whereas slightly weirdly here, the bringing of the presents out performs two roles. And one, which I think is fairly obvious, is we're recognizing this Venus flytrap now as the Christmas tree. Okay, we've now rejected the Norwegian spruce that was inside. Okay, are we going to do a John Lewis video about that tree? How does he feel? But the second thing is that these gifts are being brought out, I suppose, as a kind of offering. Because they're being brought to the tree at the same time. And then they're looking. Sister, convince first. Okay. Look at that. Tenderness, gentleness. And out they all come. And they all bring all their gifts. Are they really going to celebrate Christmas out there? Why don't go and get the tree, bring the tree. Anyway, we're celebrating out in the cold. Okay. In the outside. Dog's keeping his distance. You can see that in the background. He doesn't want to get too close. And so they wave. They kind of acknowledge the tree. Is it safe? No, it's not safe. This tree is still very violent, very manic, very unpredictable. And this is the point where we're all going, oh, where's this going to go? And then he spits out, he swallows the present, but he spits out the Bluetooth headphones. See, you wanted Bluetooth headphones, didn't you? You're happy. What did you get? Some slippers. Minecraft Lego. This is what we want. Christmas. Yay. Singing. What is the glitter thing, though? Please, let's just stop that. Any Christmas video, just no more. We don't need glitter. We've got natural glitter with snow, haven't we? Right? Just someone's going to have to clean that up. You've got a dog. It's going to choke on it. It's a terrible idea. It's falling down. Just fake nonsense. Rubbish. And then he gets to sing the final line. And there it is. They're still looking up at the tree because they love the tree. But they gathered round. Now, looking at this shot, we can see the family is gathered round. But one of the things that many people have noticed as they've looked at this is that there's no father. There's no dad in the image. The only male human is the boy himself. So it's clearly a deliberate choice. And the question is, why have they made that choice? It might be a choice on representation, wanting to include families that don't have fathers around. But certainly it's a choice that invites a bunch of questions which otherwise wouldn't have been asked. And in actual fact, distracts from the main point of the storytelling and the main purpose of the Christmas advert. So the basic shape is obviously a Christian shape in terms of the rejected one has now been become the center point The tree that was cast out into the wilderness has now been rescued. I do think the boy is the one who is the hero of the story. He's the one who's convincing his family to change things. But I also think that if you find this video or this Christmas advert to be quite troubling, there's a reason for that. And that's because of the nature of different plants and different trees. Let me just say one short thing in terms of the different types of trees that there are in the Bible and how we are to think of them. There's a wonderful story in Judges chapter 9, fairly unfamiliar part of the Bible to many people. And in this story, the trees, all the trees, are asking the different trees to be king over them. So first of all, they approach the olive tree and they say, "Olive tree, would you be a king over us?" And the olive tree says, "Well, should I give up my oil, which is useful for both God and man, to be king over you? No, I won't." Then they go to speak to the fig, and the fig says, "Well, should I give up my figs, which are sweet for God and man, to become and be king over you?" And then they go to the vine, and the vine says, "Well, should I give up my wine, which gladdens both God and man, so that I might be king over you?" And then they go to the bramble, and they ask the bramble to be king over them. And the bramble is very different from the vine or the fig or the olive tree. Okay, each of those is known as fruit trees, which are providing something which is nourishing and delightful. The bramble is known for its spikes. It's known for its aggression. And the bramble says, "If you would want me to be king over you, then be careful what you wish for," shall we say. And so in this non-traditional tree that we have in this story, the question we're going to ask is, what are we wishing for? As you break with traditions, as you move away from a natural conifer or fir tree or Norwegian spruce, as you move away from that, what kind of tree are you going to have? And this tree is going to totally reorient your world in a potentially destructive way, okay? So the Venus flytrap is a totally different kind of tree. And as the story in Judges 9, it is a absolutely awful account of what happens when people want something that is not going to be good for them. So when we think about symbol and tradition, you've got to think about what is the meaning of the original symbol, and if you shift the meaning or you switch up the Christmas tree, what are you losing in the process? G.K. Chesterton used to say, "Never take down a fence until you know why it was put up." Why do we use traditional Christmas trees? What is it about them that is so appealing? And why would this kind of tree, as a Christmas tree, be a shift? Or what kind of a shift would that bring? And I think we see that it brings a kind of a mania, a manicness to it. There's also the question of what are we going to do on the 6th of January when it's time, Epiphany comes, it's time to take down the Christmas decorations and put the tree away, okay? This is not a tree you're going to put in the loft. This is a tree that's going to live in the house forever, and it looks like it's never going to stop growing. And that dog, we thought Grandma was going to take it when we watched the teaser trailer. This dog could take it too. Anyway, there you go. There's always a lot going on in these John Lewis Christmas adverts, for good or for ill. Here at Speak Life, we are preparing our Christmas video for 2023. It is called A Christmas Countdown. It will be out on November the 30th, and it is an introduction to the themes and the approach that we're taking with the 3-2-1 course. If you'd like to check that out, you can do so by clicking the button on screen right now. I've been Reformed mythologist Nate Morgan Locke. You've been watching Speak Life. I'm glad you were here. Too early to say Merry Christmas? Probably. Take care.